Some people walk into a room without saying a word, and the whole place adjusts to them. Others talk for an hour and leave no mark at all. And the difference has almost nothing to do with personality. In today's video, I'll reveal 5 steps that will teach you how to make people respect you, even when you're quiet, even when you don't speak much, even when you're not the loudest in the room, even when you've spent your whole life wondering why louder people seem to get more attention than they deserve. Sit with me for the next few minutes. Some of what I'm about to say will sting a little. Most of it took me years to learn the hard way. Let me start with something most people never want to hear. Respect is not given for what you say. Respect is given for what people sense you would do if pushed. Loud people often confuse attention with respect, and they are not the same thing. A man can have the entire room laughing at his jokes and still be the least respected person in it. A woman can sit at the back of a meeting, say almost nothing, and have every senior person in the room quietly waiting for her to speak. That is not personality. That is not luck. There is a structure underneath it, and it can be learned. Step 1. Learn the difference between being quiet and being absent. Most quiet people are not actually quiet. They are absent. They have removed themselves from the room in their own mind long before they entered it. Their eyes drift. They stand slightly turned away. When someone speaks to them, they answer like they are apologizing for being there. A truly quiet person is fully present and chooses not to speak. That is a different thing entirely. You can feel it in the room. The shoulders are squared. The eyes hold contact without flinching. When they listen with their whole face. Not the polite nodding most people perform, but real listening, the kind that makes the person speaking feel briefly important. This is the first thing to fix, and it costs you nothing. When you walk into a room, walk in like you belong there. When someone speaks to you, look at them. Not aggressively, just steadily. People can tell the difference between a person who has nothing to say and a person who is choosing what to say. The first feels like a ghost. The second feels like weight. Step 2. Stop explaining yourself. This one is harder, and most people will resist it for years. Watch how people who are not respected talk. They explain. They justify. They give 3 reasons for one decision. They apologize for things that were not their fault. They tell you the whole backstory before they tell you the answer. They add little softeners. I'm not sure, maybe, kind of, just sort of. I could be wrong. Every one of those words is a small leak of authority. By the end of the sentence, the listener has stopped trusting them, and the speaker doesn't even know why. People who are respected say less, and they don't apologize for it. No, I can't make it. That's the whole sentence. They don't add 7 reasons. I disagree. That's the whole sentence. They don't soften it into vapor. There is something about a person who can stop talking after the truth has been said that makes other people lean in instead of pulling away. This is not about being rude. Rudeness is a kind of explaining too. Explaining how angry you are. The mentor I have in mind speaks plainly, briefly, and without performance. And when the conversation is over, it is over. They do not chase. They do not over-clarify. They do not text again at midnight to make sure you weren't upset. Try this for 1 week. When you give an answer, give it once. When you set a position, set it once. Watch what happens to the room. If you appreciate this message so far, please like this video. Your support helps spread wisdom to more people. Step 3. Become unmoved by small disrespect. A quiet person who reacts to every small slight is not respected. They are studied. People will keep poking because the reaction is interesting. A quiet person who notices the slight, registers it, and does not flinch. That person is a different creature entirely. I want you to understand something carefully. I'm not telling you to swallow real harm. There is a kind of mistreatment that has to be named, and named clearly. That is not what this step is about. This step is about the small stuff. The sarcastic remark in the meeting, the friend who interrupts, the relative who teases you about a thing that actually hurts. Most people lose their composure over the small ones and then have nothing left for the big ones. There is an old idea, much older than any of us, that the size of a person can be measured by what it takes to disturb them. A small person is disturbed by a tone of voice. A larger person is not disturbed, even by an insult. Not because they don't notice, because they have decided their inner weather is not for sale. When someone tries to provoke you and you do not move, something happens in their head that you cannot see. They lose a small piece of power. They begin, without knowing it, to treat you differently the next time. This is not theory. Watch it for yourself. Step 4. Let your work speak before your mouth does. This is the one most quiet people already half know, but they get the order wrong. There is a pattern I have watched for decades. Quiet, capable people often do excellent work and then ruin it by either over-announcing it or hiding it so completely that no one knows it was them. Both extremes come from the same place: the fear of being judged. Announcing it tries to control the judgment. Hiding it tries to escape it. Neither earns respect. What earns respect is letting the work sit in plain view and refusing to perform it. You did the project. You don't have to tell everyone how hard it was. You handled the difficult client. You don't have to recount the story at every dinner. You raised your children well. You don't need anyone's compliments to confirm it. Quiet competence done over and over in plain sight with no demand for applause builds something in the people around you that loud achievement never can. They begin to trust you in a way they do not trust the louder ones, because they sense you would still do the work, even if no one was looking. There is a reason almost every serious tradition on earth, including the biblical one, has warned people not to announce their good. Something inside the announcement spoils the thing being announced. You don't need to believe in God to notice that this is true. But it is one of those places where what God has been teaching humanity for thousands of years, and what life teaches anyone who pays attention, turn out to be the same lesson. Step 5. Master the long pause before you speak. This is the smallest step, and possibly the most powerful. Most people, when asked a question, answer immediately. They fill the silence because silence makes them anxious. They begin talking before they know what they're going to say, and they figure out the answer somewhere in the middle of saying it. You have done this, I have done this, almost everyone does. A respected person pauses, not for effect, not theatrically. They pause because they are actually thinking. 2 seconds, 3, sometimes longer. And then they speak, once cleanly, without backing up. 2 things happen in that pause. The first is that you give yourself room to say something true instead of something fast. The second is more interesting. The other person sitting in that silence begins to weight your words before you have even said them. Their nervous system reads the pause as confidence. You haven't done anything. You just didn't rush. And already the conversation has tilted toward you. Try this in your next difficult conversation. When the hard question comes, don't answer right away. Look at the person. Let 3 seconds pass. Then speak, slowly, briefly, and without apology. You will feel the room change. Now let me close with something I want you to carry with you. Respect is not loud. Respect is not earned by being clever, or quick, or charming, or right. Respect is the slow accumulation of moments in which other people sensed, without being told, that you would not betray yourself for their approval. That is the whole secret. The quiet person who has stopped chasing approval becomes, almost without trying, the person whose approval is quietly being chased. You don't need to become someone else to be respected. You need to stop performing the smaller version of yourself you've been showing the world to keep it comfortable. The room can adjust. You don't have to. If you appreciate this message, please like this video, subscribe, and grow with Steve.